Hey everybody, this is Andrew from Limitless Academy, and today we're going to talk about playing to win instead of playing to not lose. And all too often I see people want to play to not lose, and they would never wind up winning because of this. So this is really important in business, life, or anything you really want to set out to accomplish, because if you're playing on the defense and you're trying to avoid failure, that's actually holding you back from achieving your real goals. So a good example in business is if I'm scared to lose money with advertisements, if I'm scared to put this video on the internet because I might look stupid or people might ridicule me, I'm in the same position yesterday as I'll be in the same position today, and I'll be in the same position next year if I don't take action, if I want to avoid failure. So instead of avoiding failure, you have to put yourself out there and switch up your mindset where you want to play to win instead. So the best example to demonstrate this is I had a friend, Chris. Every time he went out on the weekends, he went out with his friends and they wanted to meet girls at the bars, get their numbers, and go out on lots of dates. So with Chris, he always avoided rejection. He did not want to get rejected by these girls. And at the same time, all of his friends kept up going up, approaching girls, and never really having success. They constantly got rejected, they always failed, and people sometimes laughed at them. So because Chris saw this, he didn't want to fail, and he continued not approaching any girls. So as a result of this, after 3 weeks, his friends began having some success. It started off small in the beginning where they might have got lucky once in a while, but after a while, they began having success on a regular basis. And while Chris was too busy avoiding rejection, he never got numbers, he never got dates, and while his friends were going out on plenty of dates and having a lot of success, he was still where he was 3 weeks ago. And the reason was because he played to not lose, and he wanted to avoid that failure. And I wasn't really big in the pickup artist scene, but with business and entrepreneurship, I noticed the same exact thing on my journey to success. Most of my important lessons and the skills I developed in life happened after 40 or 50 failures. So when I failed 40 or 50 times, I simply learned what didn't work, I adjusted my behavior, and after 6 months of failing at my business, I made enough money to quit my job and travel the country 3 times. So I lost money with advertising, I built websites that had no people go to it, and I really failed a lot. And the real point of this video is every success is wrapped inside of a failure. So the bigger the failure, the bigger the lesson that you'll learn. And every obstacle that you face is actually a gift that'll get you to the next level. And another thing I want to address on this video are obstacles. Those things that you face and you don't want to fail doing. And the best way to demonstrate this is success is a matter of actions you take and not a matter of time. Let's say you start your journey to success right here. You're in this position and the obstacle you face is right here. You know for a fact your goal is all the way over here. And in order to achieve that goal, you're gonna have to pass this obstacle. And for example, with me right now, it's buying advertisements on Facebook. I have a huge obstacle in front of me right now. And if I wanted to avoid failure, I wouldn't spend any money, I wouldn't really put out any advertisements and get rejected. And I'd be stuck right here for the next year until I get past that obstacle. I used to think time would save me, but time cannot save you because success is a matter of how many actions you take, how many failures you go through, and not a matter of time. So you could stand right here all you want and be in the same position next year that you are right now if you really get scared of that obstacle and you don't take action. But the moment you learn that that fear and that obstacle is not real and it's just simply a gift that teaches you a lesson to get to the next level, you're gonna push right through that obstacle. So the moment I push through these Facebook advertisements, I know that skill for life. I could advertise anything once I learned how to do that. And from all my friends who've been really successful in the past and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads, they failed so many times, and once they learned this, they could do it naturally. So think about that thing in your life that you're facing right now. What is that one obstacle that you have to face that you might be avoiding rejection on? But once you reframe your focus and learn that you not want to avoid failure, but you want to push through that failure, learn that lesson, because that's the only way to get you to that next level. So think about that thing that you're scared of doing right now and just push through it, because from experience myself, the moment you push through that first failure and you learn that failure is not real, that's when your mind mind opens up and you could push through the next obstacles 100 times quicker. So, all right, to summarize, you have two options right here. Option one is you could continue to do what you're doing, avoid that failure and think failure is a bad thing, and you'll be stuck in the same position that you are next year. But do you really want that? The second option is to push through that failure, don't be afraid to mess up, and realize that failure is the only way to achieve success. So just like Chris with the girls at the bar, where he might have been comfortable in the very beginning, in the long run, that comfortableness that he's felt from not being rejected actually held him back more than anything in life. And that takes me to my next point, where our brain is wired for immediate feedback. So the example of Chris in the bar, where he doesn't avoid rejection with those girls, in his mind, that is instantaneous feedback where he doesn't want to get the rejection and he feels immediate comfort for staying where he is right there. So in the short term, he was avoiding that failure and he felt comfortable immediately. But in the long run, he doesn't want to avoid that failure, because in the long run, going through that failure is the only way he'll achieve success.